Otherwise, Rhea probably can lead us.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Um, Let us put ourselves in the presence of our Almighty Father, our gracious and heavenly Lord. We are gathered here tonight, and we are thankful, Lord, for this opportunity to review and deepen our understanding. We ask your holy presence to bless us upon this class that it may be filled with clarity, focus, and a spirit of collaboration. Guide our minds as we work through the material and open our hearts to learn from one another. Help us to recall what we have learned and to build upon our knowledge. Bless our efforts and grant us the confidence to face this review with positive and open attitude. We are thankful for your guidance and presence in our lives. This we ask in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thanks, Rhea. So tonight, we're I will discuss some history, concepts, theories, and principles of environmental planning, which makes up 20% of the exam coverage. And so, this subject matter or area helps us understand how environmental planning has evolved over time, the ideas behind it, and the guiding principles that shape how we approach planning today. So we'll go through key topics that will help us make sense of the field, starting with if you can share your screen, Jen. Let's go over the TOS first and then I'll show you as usual. Maliliit ba? Or if you can enlarge that. Um, be able to enlarge. Nakikita ba ng lahat? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Nakikita, ma'am.
Nakikita naman. So, if you, bali doon tayo sa, di ba? Next area na tayo dyan. So, pakita mo lang yung last aspect ng ano. Ayan. So, if you've noticed, that was the last subtopic under subject area of planning process. So that's area development planning comprising 20% and 40 items. So, kikita ninyo, tinatotal din nila. So, can I see the totals there? Below. Okay. 100%, 200 items. Okay, so that culminates the subject area. Then we can go now to the next. So that's the, okay. Subject area, history, concepts, theories, and principles of environmental planning. Weight is 20%. And of course, we're still following Bloom's taxonomy. And with you can see the topics and competencies and the weight and the number of items. Um, So, environment, planning, and environmental planning. So, ini-split niya yung concepts. And the first one there, so we have 30%, 30 items, just for this particular subtopic, environment, planning, and environmental planning. Pwedeng i-akyat mo lang. Sige lang, gitna mo siya. So, definition. So, number one is definition, nature, elements, and processes of the environment and human ecology. So a bit of science there. Then of course, 7% of out of the 30%. Then we have 7 items out of the 30 items. So it means that there would be number two, number three as subtopics and then sub-subtopics. Then out of the 7 items there under number one, it's spread under the different levels of the Bloom's taxonomy. If you can please memorize the arrangement. The first column there in the Bloom's taxonomy is remembering. So it means that for number one, there are two items under remembering, and three understanding, and two analyzing levels. So it means two, three, two, seven items. But these seven items is spread in the different sub items as well. And we will start with 1.1. Recall the processes of natural ecology. That's 1% out of 7%. So ipakita mo yung buong 1. Then it's until 1.5. You can adjust. Okay, so that's the coverage of letter A1. 1.1 to 1.5. So for 1.1, 1% only means one item is, it means 1 is to 1. Unlike others na kapag sinabing 1%, so two items yan. So, am I correct there? And then, for one item, it's under the remembering, okay? Wala kasi yung sa succeeding pages niya, so you need to memorize that. Remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and then toward creating. So, for 1.1, it says, recall. By the way, sige, dun muna tayo sa letter A. So, I need to provide small background that, of course, the environment, we have, we have different concepts there. Environment refers to the complex interplay of biotic, meaning living things, and then abiotic, non-living things. So, and non-living components that support and sustain life on Earth. So that's very science, right? So human ecology, which is a sub-discipline of environmental planning, examines how human societies interact with their surroundings, focusing on patterns of consumption, adaptation, and impact on ecosystems. So we need to understand the intricate balance of environmental elements like air, water, land, biodiversity, and climate. They are all important or crucial in planning sustainable human settlements and economic activities. There are also key elements of the environment, which include natural resources, and we are referring to the renewables like forest, water, and non-renewable fossil fuels, minerals, etc. Then another key element is we have our ecosystems that comprise the dynamic systems of interdependent organisms and their physical environment. Then we have the climate systems, influence biodiversity, agriculture, human health, etc. Also, human impact. Yeah. What are these human impacts? Like urbanization, pollution, resource depletion, etc. that impacts human. So we also need to recall the processes of natural ecology, which refers to the self-regulating mechanisms within ecosystems that maintain ecological balance. And there are core processes which include nutrient cycling, if you are familiar with this movement of nutrients. So how do nutrients move, like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, etc., through ecosystems, so via biological, geological, chemical interactions, and more. So we also have energy flow, whereby the transfer of energy from producers, we have plants to consumers, right? So we have carnivores, if you're familiar with that when you were in high school. So we normally discuss about this one, and we also have decomposers. We follow the food chain. So succession also, if there's succession also in the, six processes in the city. Do you remember that? We also have that. I think I also mentioned that it's alike with the processes in the um in the processes of, the ecology, whereby there's also succession happening here because the natural process by which ecosystems evolve and develop over time in response to disturbances or, disruptions, etc. Then, we also have the growth, decline, interactions of species within an ecosystem. So this is what we call the population dynamics also. Ang dami ano. So when I was with government and they're still starting to recognize and appreciate yung mga ano natin, yeah, biodiversity, etc. And we start talking about during the time it's like in early 2000 or 1990, late 1990s. So as question, we start talking about biodiversity and how insects and all mammals, flora and fauna. And so I just wonder, are we really, really into this? We, and that was still the time that, all this process of natural ecology have been discussed in the government, government sectors. So, and that was the time whereby ano pa yung mga during 1990s, all this convention, I mean the international treaties, etc. And they have become more becoming popular during that time. So now, so it's been like almost 3 decades that I've been talking about this already. And I hope that you too, even if you're younger, I know it's not new to you. Okay. So, um, if you also know about homeostasis, the ability of ecosystems to resist and recover from environmental changes so that we maintain stability or stability. Okay, so here you can see that recall. So what's the first one there? Recall the processes of natural ecology. So we need to recall, and so that's what I've been talking about, the different processes. So for 1.2, that's explain the principles of human stewardship of the natural environment and the resource and its resources. So, human stewardship refers to the ethical responsibility of individuals and communities to manage and protect the natural environment and its resources sustainably. So, the concept is rooted in the understanding that humans are both beneficiaries and caretakers of the environments, and their actions have lasting implications for future generations. So, stewardship embodies principles of conservation, sustainability, and accountability in resource use and environmental management. And there are key principles involved in human stewardship, like sustainability, conservation and protection, intergenerational responsibility. I mean, I hope you really you're familiar with that, where we need to recognize, or we are recognizing the duty to pass on a healthy environment to future generations by promoting long-term planning and ecological balance. So Oposa versus Factoran as a landmark case under this. So I think many times I already explained this to the earlier batch of this review group about Oposa versus Factoran. It's really a very interesting case to cover everything about ecology and, the the provision in the 1987 Constitution about the balance ecology that everyone needs. So, sustainable development, we can see them and they're all encompassed in the SDG. Okay, you have 17 SDGs. So, but sustainable development, we've been defining that for ilang decades na, di ba? So, it's balancing economic growth with environmental protection and social well-beings. Implement like an example here is implementing green building designs and renewable energy sources, etc. Then, then also we need to understand also the ethical use and management aspect of human stewardship, that we need to ensure that natural resources are utilized responsibly, considering the impact on ecosystems and communities. For example, practicing ethical mining, responsible mining, and sustainable agricultural techniques, and many others. So for what's it? 1.3, I'll read that. Illustrate how specific ecological processes affect the outcome of evolution, and how it in turn alters these processes. So if I don't explain that, yeah, it would be very difficult to get by and understand the contents of this table of specifications. But 1.3 is saying that ecological processes, such as, what are these? So we need to contextualize that. That's it pertains to the natural selection, adaptation that directly influence the course of evolution by shaping the genetic and yeah, genetic traits of organisms. So, meron din silang ganon. And so, this aspect is very science, because we also talk about evolution, which in turn alters these ecological processes by driving changes in species, interactions, and then ecosystem functions, environmental dynamics, and many more. So there are also key ecological processes affecting evolution, which include natural selection. So please remember all these terminologies. That natural selection means um, explains that organisms with traits better suited to their environment have higher survival and reproduction rates. So I'm not really very good in this, but we will keep we should keep reading about the science aspect, because environmental planning is both science and yeah, art, isn't it? So when we start talking about history, etc., and then we would be I hope you would appreciate how our how planning as a field had evolved. And so yeah, a genetic drift, there are terminologies here that, because they included this in the table of specifications, because we have three members of the board, and of course they have different specializations, and of course they're the ones crafting the questions, and so it would depend on their interest, on their how they would like to select the passers or the would-be environmental planners, and would depend on sometimes it takes us, or we need to understand also who they are, their background, so that we can fit in. We can be very familiar, and it will also inform the manner how we tackle we go through this journey of passing the board exams. But it's good that we have this guide already, the table of specifications, whereby we need to understand each of those items, and we will not go wrong, because we already tackled them, diba? So at the very start of your review schedule. So yeah, there are also, here in this aspect, in this 1.3, is it 1.3? We also need to talk about habitat, that environmental there are also environmental disturbances where natural, like volcanic eruptions or human-induced, yeah, disasters like deforestation, uh, they influence the evolution of species as they adapt to altered landscapes. So evolution in turn alters these processes by shaping ecosystems through the introduction of new traits and species, also by modifying food webs and ecosystem services, also by influencing biodiversity and ecological resilience. So let's go to 1.4. Yeah, 1.4 na ba ako? Jen, identify if you can adjust it to the center. Okay, 1.4. Identify the drivers of the ecosystem and its impact of human technology. 1%, one item only. So Um, ecosystems. So, okay, just a moment. Identify the drivers of the ecosystem. So we are talking about the drivers of the ecosystem and its impact on human ecology. So ecosystems are influenced by various drivers that shape their structure, function, and sustainability. And these drivers can be categorized into natural and anthropogenic, like human-induced factors. So we need to understand what are these drivers that are essential for managing ecosystems effectively and mitigating their impacts on human ecology. So I mentioned that there are natural drivers, so temperature, precipitation patterns, or extreme weather events, they can all alter biodiversity and ecosystem processes. So these are all about climate change. Then there are also events such as volcanic eruptions and earthquakes that can reshape ecosystems and create new habitats. So this is pertains to the geological process. And then there are also biological interactions like predation, competition, symbiosis that influence species distribution and abundance. Then there's these nutrient cycles whereby it it pertains to the availability of essential nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus that determines ecosystem productivity. So I also mentioned about anthropogenic or human-induced drivers. So in terms of land use change, so we will be tackling on urbanization, then there's deforestation also, and agriculture, among others, that alter habitats and biodiversity. Then in terms of pollution, like industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and plastic pollution, the degrade ecosystem health. And so this pertains to pollution as a driver. Then about resource exploitation like overfishing, logging, and mining, they lead to habitat destruction and biodiversity loss. There are also, we also consider technological advancement as a driver because um, changes in energy consumption, transportation, they all affect ecological footprint of human activities. So speaking of impacts, we have health impacts, food security, economic consequences, also cultural impacts. So indigenous communities and local cultures may be disrupted by ecosystem changes. So 1.5, we can go to that one. Analyze global environmental problems or issues and recommend solutions in terms of planning. So we talk about global environmental problems. They're complex and they're interconnected challenges that affect ecosystems, economies, and societies worldwide. So environmental planners, we are important factors here or players especially in analyzing these issues and proposing sustainable solutions through strategic planning, and policy for implementation, among others. There are key global environmental problems. We have climate change, we have deforestation, we have pollution, all sorts like air, water, soil pollution. And so, but of course, for each of these environmental problems, we need to be very quick and we have to be very strategic in our planning solutions. Like if we have pollution problems about contamination of natural resources affecting human health and ecosystems. So if we have that problem, then maybe we can have planning solutions such as development of waste management systems and pollution control policies, or promoting sustainable industrial practices, etc. So when we have issues on species extinction due to habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change, so we may establish, by designating conservation areas, just one of those planning solutions. Also, we can implement or we advocate for the implementation of ecosystem-based management approaches, many more regarding when we are tackling biodiversity loss problems. And then on urbanization and overpopulation, when there's increased demand for resources, infrastructure, and housing, leading to environmental degradation. So, what are those planning solutions that we may put on? We need to promote, smart growth strategies and sustainable urban planning, and also we can encourage public transportation and green building initiatives, and many more. So that's our role. So we can now, I think we can now go to, you can now unshare that. So I can proceed. There are only 7 questions that we will be tackling tonight. I'll share just a moment. Hmm. Ko pa pala na-share. So, share. Then, that's one history. So, let me know if you're not seeing anything. So, hindi ako prepared. Because, yeah, not so much, not too many images there. But of course, I hope everyone already is getting it correctly. The Bloom's taxonomy. I hope you became very familiar already. Okay, with that. Remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating, etc. So, oh, sorry. Mali. Mm, okay. So, uh, we are in 1.1. So it's about the definition. Okay, recall the process of natural ecology. Then, so which of the following best describes nutrient cycling in natural ecology? Yeah, the what? You need to remember. So I'll answer it first. Uh, yeah, so I think I mentioned about nutrient cycling earlier. That includes or involves um the continuous movement, right? Continuous movement of elements such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus within the ecosystem. And this facilitates the growth and sustainability of life. So the answer is letter C, the movement and exchange of organic and inorganic matter through the ecosystem. Because A is incorrect because as energy flow, not nutrient cycling describes the linear movement of energy through traffic levels. So A is not the correct answer, and then B incorrect also. B, the process by which organisms consume energy and release it as heat, because as it relates to energy dissipation, it's not the recycling of essential nutrients. Then D, the adaptation of species to changes in environmental conditions. It's incorrect as adaptation is a biological response, not a cycle. So the correct answer is C. Okay, so I'll go to, this is the what questions. Still, isa lang yung sa kan. If you notice here, okay, there's only one item for under remembering for 1.1, and then we can proceed to 1.2. So although I can provide as many under each one, but of course for purposes of presentation that we try to simulate the table of specifications. So um for 1.2, explain the principles of human stewardship of the natural environment and its resources. 1%, one item, understanding. So the second level of the Bloom's taxonomy. Understand. So which of the following best describes the concept of human stewardship of the environment? Unmute if you can.
Ethical management. Letter B po, ma'am.
Yes, that's correct. And why? Would you like to do some articulation?
Parang negative po. Merong mga negative na statement sa ibang choices po.
Yes.
Hindi ma... Mm.
So that's correct. Mark's, is this Mark? Okay.
Yes po.
Okay, so he's correct there. So let's go over that. Letter A is incorrect as stewardship focuses on responsible management rather than exploitation. Diba? So that's negative. So then also letter C as the use of natural resources without regard for sustainability, negative, because um, sustainable use and long-term preservation are central to stewardship. Then letter D is incorrect because it says the development of technology to replace natural resources. So incorrect as stewardship emphasizes preserving natural resources, not replacing them. And so letter C is letter B is the correct one because it says the ethical management and conservation of natural resources for future generations. So human stewardship involves the ethical responsibility to conserve and sustainably manage resources to ensure their availability for future generations. So tama yung kanyang strategy, si Mark, because kahit hindi niya intindihin ng even if he did not do some, like mga analysis dito. And his basis was only that negative na yung iba, positive. Ito lang yung positive. So it's also one of those strategies. So we can proceed to the next one. Okay. So we are on 1.3 because yeah, there's only one item for 1.2. So for 1.3, also one item under understanding level, which ecological process directly contributes to evolutionary adaptations in a population. This involves like mga terminologies there. So let me answer that. So which ecological process? Mm. So let's go to letter A. genetic drift. So it must be very challenging, right? The question is which ecological process directly, okay, directly contributes to evolutionary adaptations in a population. So if you look at that, probably you can base it on because you're familiar with that letter ganito. But you know, mm, incorrect. A is incorrect because genetic drift causes random changes, but does not necessarily lead to adaptation because it's concerned the questions about adaptation of organisms. So, the correct answer is B. So let me explain that um, toward the end. Letter C, mutation. Mutation introduces genetic variability but does not directly result in adaptation without selection. Quite challenging, right? Kapag ka science. And then letter D, is speciation results in new species. Okay, I hope you will remember that. Formation, but does not directly cause adaptation within an existing species. So, natural selection is the driving force behind adaptation and to ensure that individuals with advantageous traits are more likely to survive and reproduce, you know. So, that letter B, natural selection, probably that's the most, parang,
Letter C po, ma'am.
letter C, that's the,
Mercy. Mm.
sorry, natural selection. For, just a moment, I'll ponder, parang just a moment lang. Natural selection. Yeah, natural selection. Bakit kaya letter B ang na-mention ko, no? Symbiosis pala yan, yung letter B. But the answer talaga is natural selection. Hindi, letter dito pala ay letter C. No? Napalitan ko ba yon? So, okay. That's a different one. So natural selection is the driving force behind adaptation. Letter C, ensuring that individuals with advantageous traits are more likely. So I mentioned about that one. So mahirap ba yung mga ganong tanong, ano? You know, there are more unexpected questions in the past board exams like during the pre-pandemic. You cannot imagine that questions on cemeteries, on even katarungang pambarangay, this, about lupon, about pangkat ng tagapagkasundo, things like that, and you don't expect that when you have not encountered all this, magugulat ka talaga, and then it will make you become nervous. So pag ganon, i-leave nyo muna so that you can proceed well. Huwag kayong don't panic, tapos balikan nyo na lang later. But make sure na correct yung numbering nyo when you start answering so that when you go back, baka mamaya nalagyan nyo na pala ng answer yon. So, that's very important. So, okay na ba tayo doon sa mutations? Parang, because yung next pala na ano, tingnan niya, ay, parang dalawa, parang namali ata ako sa kanya. Anyway, answer is natural selection. Is that corrected? So, we can go to, because there are two items. Two items. Okay, how does evolution impact ecological processes within an ecosystem? Answer?
Letter A, ma'am. Try ko lang. Letter A.
Mm-mm.
Letter A.
Uh,
Evolutionary, ano, increasing species diversity and altering species interaction, para siyang ah, evolutionary shape of yung, ano ba yan, ecological community over Parang ganun. Yes, ma'am.
Keep trying so that we can, wait.
Kasi
Ano yung ano muna? Ano yung eliminate mo muna?
eliminate ko yung B, C at saka D, ma'am.
B, C, D.
Hmm.
Parang letter D ang answer ko dito. By
Hmm.
eliminating ang first.
Magkaiba na kayo, no? So, magkaiba. So, sige. Kung ako ang mag-eliminate, I will eliminate, sige. You answered B kanina, no? Ay, sinong nag-answer? Ano yung answer mo, Ankan?
Letter D yung try ko po.
Si Mark, letter D. Tapos si
Si Rhea, letter A yung answer ko, ma'am.
okay, B and A. So, let me try. Dito muna ako sa B and C. So, which answer should I eliminate? I will eliminate siguro letter C. So, because, sinabi ng letter C, random changes in gene frequencies in isolated populations. Ito naman sa question niya kasi is which of the following is an example of evolution altering ecological
Parang
system?
iba yung question, ma'am.
Question ano? Mali yung question ko. Wait lang. Parang, wait lang ha. Sa sandali. Parang, bakit kaya no? Ah, sorry. Diyan pakitignan doon sa ano, sa isang file ano. So probably I was able to prepare. Tingnan ka lang ta. One item lang kasi ito eh. I'm thinking. Hmm, sige ulit. Ay, mali na ito. Hindi na yun. So, sa moment lang, pala muli yung ano ko. Ba't ako nakarating doon? Escape. Escape ako. Then, dito. Okay. 1.4 tayo na? 1.4. Saan na tayo? 1 point. Dito. Ito yun, ano? Ay, sorry. 1.2. We are done. We're done with this. Um,
Number 4 na po tayo, ma'am. 1.3.
1.3. Hmm, okay. Which ecological process? How does evolution? Sabi niya. So, okay. Ecolo how does, which example of evolution? Still pareho, ano? Okay, dito na lang kaya. Species adapting. Kasi magkaiba yung answer, no? Pero actually, yung by increasing species. Saglit lang. Wait lang. Let's see. Within ecosystem. So I'll just stop share. I'll just stop share and look. Hmm. Okay. So, so are you able to see now? Correct answer. It's still the same. I did not change anything. How does evolution impact ecological processes within an ecosystem? So, yung answer kanina is between letter D and
A. A po.
A and D. So, okay, I'll choose between B and C because B B by preventing species from adapting to environmental changes. So evolution enables adaptation rather than hindering it because yung letter B, hindi ano? Sa letter B. So, and then letter C also by causing immediate ecological collapse. So, um, evolutionary changes occur gradually and do not directly cause ecosystem collapse. So between A and B, the correct answer is letter A because it says here by increasing species. And so I'll discuss letter D first by eliminating all forms of competition within ecosystems. This one, competition, remains important in ecological processes, despite evolutionary changes. So it's contradicting. It says by eliminating all forms of competition. So within ecosystems, did you get that? By eliminating all forms of competition, because it says you are eliminating all forms of competition, but it's still competition is remains crucial factor in ecological processes despite evolutionary changes. So if you look at the question, how does evolution impact ecological processes within an ecosystem? So if we look at letter A, by increasing species diversity, so you can imagine that, and altering species interaction. So um, that's the answer, evolution fosters biodiversity, so which leads to more complex ecological relationships such as new predator as prey, dynamics and so the answer is letter A. And may I hear Rhea kanina why letter A? So how did
Ah, kasi ma'am, yung nakita ko sa question na evolution impact sa ecological process. So parang may siya competition process yung ecological communities over time para bang siya ma'am, may increase diversity, nag-increase yung accurately po nag-reflect siya ng direct impact kasi nag-increase yung diversity arises from adaptation and speciation due to altering interaction among species. Yun ang nakita ko, ma'am.
So I think earlier nung pinakita natin yung TOS, 'di ba? Parang I also mentioned about that when there's diversity change, parang ganon or nag-increase yung species, 'di ba? And that signals that
Yes,
also
ma'am.
there's ecological, the evolution impacts ecological process, parang ganon. So if you look at B, why not B? Why not C? Why not D? And because for letter B, I
Mm.
think I mentioned that evolution enables adaptation and not hindering it, di ba? So, sabi niya dito, by preventing species from adapting to environmental change. So, there's contradiction, ano? Is it correct?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
get that? And then letter C also by causing immediate ecological collapse by eliminating all forms. Anyway, I think I also prepared a in-depth discussion on this in one topic also. So we will be going back to that again. Okay, so we are now on 1.4. Again, one item, understanding. So please unmute. if you can. Identify the drivers. I think I mentioned also about drivers kanina.
Try lang, ma'am.
Sige.
B.
B din, ma'am, sa akin.
Oh, okay. And so, sino yung unang sumagot?
Edmund po, ma'am.
Oh, sige nga, Edmond. And why?
Sa pagkakarinig ko po kanina dun sa lecture, ma'am, is when we say anthropogenic driver is human-led siya. So, based siya sa actions ng people. So, pag titingnan natin dito, ma'am, bilang yung pwedeng may correlate natin sa actions ng
Hmm.
people po. So, yun lang, ma'am. Thank you.
So, correct. And so, letter A kasi is natural climate variation. So, and they occur without human influence, di ba? So, and are not classified as anthropogenic driver. Correct. So, yung letter C naman, seasonal shifts in precipitation, they're part of natural climate cycles, but they do not directly result from human activity. Then, yung letter D naman, geological activities such as earthquakes, they are natural processes and not, di ba, force majeure yung earthquake na yan and not driven by human action. So, B, urbanization and deforestation because there are human activities that significantly alter ecosystems by changing land cover. They also reduce biodiversity and they increase pollution levels. So you are correct there. Okay, kailangan lang talaga na maano yung lecture, no? So, okay, we are now in 1.52 items. Which of the following planning strategies is most effective in addressing urban sprawl overpopulation? So this one is easy question. Someone can unmute.
Letter B po, ma'am.
Yes, that's correct. Can you explain?
Kasi po, ma'am, sa option A, eliminate ko yung option A kasi ano siya, ma'am, parang promotes yung sprawl. Sprawl ba yun?
Sprawl, ayan.
Tapos, yung C din, ma'am, si option C, para siyang ah, yung exacerbates yung ano niya, yung sprawl niya.
Mm-mm.
Parang, oo. Then, bilang yung nakita ko positive, ma'am. Then, sa ano din, ma'am, yung sa, ano ba to? C, expanding road networks to accommodate population growth. Ano siya? Ah,
Yeah.
si C pala po, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Si C pala parang yung exacerbates sprawl. Si option B po, ma'am,
Mm.
yung mix yung ano niya, development at saka compact yung city design kasi expanding roads, networks, yung
Yes.
ganon. Then, si D, ma'am, para siyang lead siya sa ano, social issues, lack of green spaces kasi increasing yung urban density, constructing high-rise o building in every district. Yun lang po, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yung
so
nakita ko, ma'am.
oo, yung letter D, di ba? So, as increasing urban density without proper planning can lead to overpopulation din, of overpopulation stress without addressing sustainability. Yung C kanina, uh, expanding road networks leads to more traffic congestion, so environmental degradation also. And then A, yung single-use zoning, it promotes urban sprawl and if inefficient land use. So correct ka? The answer is letter B. because by promoting mixed use development and compact city designs, um, yeah, you encourage sustainable use. Mixed use development encourages sustainable land use, and they also reduce travel distances, like, and minimize also urban sprawl. So that's the direct answer. So it's very the most responsive answer, because when you are doing mixed use, then you integrate residential, commercial, and recreational spaces. So this is the last one. Okay.
Letter C, ma'am.
Okay, correct. So can you articulate? Yan, tingnan natin. Para marinig din ng iba paano napili yung correct answer, which is letter C. Ano yung strategy na ginamit mo?
Kasi it's CBM is one of the programs and project no of the I think sa DENR na makumbat yung deforestation.
Yes. Mm. So, yung when you engage local communities, 'di ba, in reforestation efforts, so it's a good practice to, to ensure sustainable forest management and long-term environmental benefits, di ba? So, yung A,
So,
illegal logging, of course, it will always exacerbate environmental degradation and biodiversity loss. And then, yung B naman, agricultural expansion into forest is the primary, actually, that's the primary cause of deforestation. And then, yung monoculture, ano ba yung monoculture plantations? Siguro alam ng mga taga DNR ito, no? It reduces biodiversity and soil fertility over time if you are doing that monoculture plantation. So, and so that's the correct answer is implementing community-based reforestation programs. I'm looking at ano yung monoculture.
Ma'am,
Excuse me. Yes.
Sigford po. Ma'am, I think monoculture plantation po is parang isang klase ng timber lang po yung tinatanim. Parang hindi siya nagpo-promote ng ano siya, mga biodiversity. Parang lahat, mahogany lang po lahat para po commercial use po yung timber. Yun po yung monoculture plantation.
And then, what does it bring forth? Ano yung,
Hindi po siya ano ma'am, parang hindi healthy yung environment kasi yung biodiversity, meron po kasing iba na yung animals hindi magta-thrive sa isang klase lang na mga plants, ganun po. So kung dapat po kasi yung natural po talaga na environment natin, dapat po talaga yung iba-ibang klase ng mga tanim
mm,
ang present para po maka-adapt yung mga mga fauna po.
okay. So, ano din yan,
Parang mixed use at single use din.
si Segfrid, kanina na, si Segfrid. So, halimbawa, yung project is, it requires intercropping. So, siyempre intercropping, at least dalawa na yun, ano? So, if there are coffee tree ba o coffee plantation, and then kailangan intercrop means that you need to plant in between. Is it correct? So, paano yung monoculture doon? Kung forever na coffee and another one like ano ba yan? Potato or ano yung ilalagay mo in between. So, will the effect be the same?
Ah, Parang yes po ma'am kasi yung mangyayari po yung soil po natin is parang ma-degrade po yung mga ano niya
Pag,
is
pag, Pag hindi
Pag,
mo papalitan.
yes po, pag hindi po iba-iba yung tanim, parang isang klase lang po yung tinatanim nyo po.
So that's a good input to my current project, because we will be doing elevated solar, agrivoltaic solar plant or power plant, and it requires, so I contacted someone, the former regional director of Department of Agriculture. So I did not think about the monoculture aspect. So I'm I thank you for because we discussed about that. Hindi ko yun nakita. So
Ah, ma'am,
that,
siguro ma'am, if ever, ma'am, magandang example po ma'am, yung
mm,
man-made forest ng Bohol po. Kaya po siya tinawag na the
mm,
silent forest kasi po isang klaseng tanim lang po yung binilagay nila, yung parang mahogany lang po ata.
hindi
Tapos
mo
meron po kasing animals talaga po ng Pilipinas na iniiwasan po yung mahogany.
alright. Meron pala yung mga ganun. So what's your undergrad?
Civil engineer po, pero nag-study po kasi ako ng diploma for urban and regional planning.
I see, I see. So this one, and so crop diversity, yeah, is it same with crop rotation, yun ano? Crop rotate,
Yes po. Pero kasi close po ako sa agriculture namin kaya napag-uusapan po namin yung ganito.
pag-uusapan din. I see
Opo.
how nice it is when you ano no when you talk to people, and then na-build yung stock knowledge ninyo, and you can answer kapag may surprises na ganito na mga questions, ano, it also would be very good to your preparation. So congratulations for tonight. We're continuing to the next one. Ano na yun, Jen, yung next number 2? Okay, let's see. Ano ko na, stop share ka to. We're okay tonight. Yung number 2 is, let me open na yun. So, things are going, mataas ba yung mga scores ninyo? So, for the last, yung 40 plus items. Okay ba? So, we're continuing to number, ito na siya. So, last, dali lang. Okay. So, this will be the next one. Okay, yung sa history. So, history and foundation. I hope ma-incorporate ko na yung yung parang some slides. Kasi magkaiba kasi yan. Slide ko ay PowerPoint, and then yung mga questions ay from the Canva. So, history and foundation of planning and environmental planning. So, 7%. Again, 7 items. So, let's see if I can also tackle number 3. Para tingnan natin, no? So, you can rest tonight or you can continue reading. Depends on your, your study habits. So, thank you for tonight, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time. Bye. And, by the way, we have, we have photo documentation. All right.